Thanks for joining us at English Podcast, where learning English feels simple and enjoyable.
We share stories, real conversations, and tips to help you grow day by day.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep creating for you. Have you ever been on a really challenging hike, the kind where you're not sure you'll make it to the end? This story is about that kind of hike. It's about pushing yourself, both physically and mentally, to reach a hidden waterfall. Challenging means difficult, by the way, but rewarding.
I love stories about overcoming obstacles. It's always inspiring. So, where does this hike take place? Is it in the mountains, a forest, or somewhere else?
Our story is set in a remote, mountainous region. Remote means far away from civilization, isolated. Imagine towering peaks, dense forests, and a winding trail that seems to disappear into the wilderness. That's where our hikers are headed.
That sounds beautiful, but also a little intimidating. Wilderness refers to a natural area, untouched or minimally impacted by humans, right? It's the kind of place that's both exciting and a bit scary.
Exactly. The waterfall they are looking for is hidden deep within this wilderness. It's a local legend, a place few have seen. So, our hikers are embarking on an adventure, full of anticipation. Anticipation means excited expectation for something to happen.
I can't wait to hear what happens on their journey. Let's imagine we're right there with them. The air is crisp, the sun is just beginning to rise, and our hiking boots are laced tight. Ready to hit the trail.
So, they started their hike early in the morning. The trailhead, where the trail begins, was already bustling with other hikers. They had packed plenty of water, sandwiches, and trail mix, a mix of nuts, dried fruit, and sometimes chocolate, perfect for a hike.
And they were so excited. The trail started off easy enough, a gentle incline through a beautiful forest. Incline means it sloped upwards, not too steep though. The sun dappled through the leaves, creating these beautiful patterns on the ground.
They chatted as they walked, pointing out interesting birds and plants. After about an hour, the trail became a little more challenging, rockier and steeper. They had to be careful with their footing. Footing, that means where you place your feet.
They came across a fallen tree blocking the path. This is where their first obstacle appeared. It was quite large. Obstacle means something that blocks your way or makes it harder to progress.
They assessed the situation. Assess means to look closely at something to understand it. Could they climb over it? Could they go around it? What was the safest option?
They decided to climb over, carefully helping each other. It was a bit of a scramble. Scramble means to climb using both your hands and feet, but they managed it. It was teamwork.
A little further on, they encountered another challenge, a small, fast-flowing stream blocking their path. There were no stepping stones, those flat rocks you can use to cross water.
They looked upstream and downstream, searching for a narrower point to cross or a fallen log they could use as a bridge. Upstream means in the opposite direction of the water flow, and downstream is where the water is going.
Eventually, they spotted a sturdy-looking log a little way downstream. It looked like it would be strong enough to hold their weight. Sturdy means strong and stable.
Carefully, they made their way to the log, stepping cautiously and holding onto branches for balance. They slowly crossed, one at a time. It was a bit precarious. Precarious describes a situation that's slightly dangerous or unstable, but they made it across with dry feet.
So, to quickly recap, our hikers, Leo and Maya, are on a quest to find a hidden waterfall. They've faced some challenges already, a tricky stream crossing and a confusing fork in the path. They chose the path less traveled, hoping it will lead them to their destination.
Exactly. They're determined, even though they're not totally sure they are on the right track. Determined means they have a strong will to achieve their goal. It shows their dedication to finding this waterfall.
They're relying on an old, hand-drawn map, which adds to the adventure, don't you think? It's a bit like a treasure hunt.
Absolutely. And remember, they packed lightly, just some water and snacks. This means they have to be careful with their supplies. They can't afford to get lost or stay out too long.
Now, continuing on, they encountered another obstacle, a dense thicket of thorny bushes. Thicket means a dense group of bushes or trees growing close together. It was pretty much blocking their way.
It was a real struggle to get through. They had to carefully push aside the thorny branches to avoid getting scratched. Thorny describes something covered in sharp thorns, like a rose bush.
They even had to duck under some low-hanging branches, which slowed them down even further. It's quite an adventure for them. This really tests their perseverance. After what seemed like ages, they finally emerged from the thicket, relieved and a bit scratched up but still in good spirits. Emerging means to come out of a covered or hidden place, like coming out of a tunnel or, in this case, a thicket.
Right. And just when they thought they'd overcome the worst of it, they encountered a steep, rocky incline. Incline refers to a slope or a surface that goes upwards. This new challenge required them to use their hands to climb and be extra cautious with their footing to avoid slipping. The terrain was getting quite difficult.
They had to watch every step. This part of the trail was definitely testing their physical limits. It was exhausting. So, they finally reached the base of the waterfall, absolutely drenched but exhilarated. It was magnificent. The water cascaded down, creating this misty spray. They'd made it. They were triumphant. Do you know that feeling of triumph, person two? Like when you achieve something you worked really hard for?
Absolutely. Triumph is a great word. It means a great victory or achievement. Like winning a race, or finally finishing a difficult project. And in this case, reaching the hidden waterfall after such a challenging hike. They were soaked, but they felt a sense of triumph.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the word, drenched, which we used earlier. It means completely soaked. Like when you're caught in a downpour without an umbrella, you get absolutely drenched.
And the word, cascaded. That's a beautiful descriptive word. It describes how the water flowed. It didn't just fall straight down, it cascaded. It flowed downwards, like a series of small waterfalls. It really paints a picture in your mind.
It does. Think of a cascade of something, not just water. You can have a cascade of events, meaning a series of events happening quickly one after the other. Like a cascade of dominoes falling.
Perfect example. Now, they're at the bottom of this beautiful, cascading waterfall. What do they do next, I wonder?
Well, they find a nice, relatively dry spot, although, let's be honest, everything was a little damp, and decide to take a break. They unpack their slightly soggy sandwiches and admire the view.
Soggy is another good one. It means wet and soft, often in an unpleasant way, like their sandwiches. You could say a wet sponge is soggy. Or your cereal gets soggy if it sits in milk for too long.
And admire, which means to look at something or someone with pleasure or approval. They admired the beauty of the waterfall.
So, they're admiring the view, eating their soggy sandwiches. This hidden waterfall, was it really hidden, though? They found it.
Well, it was off the beaten path, as we say. That means it wasn't on the main trail, it was tucked away. You had to really search for it. And that's what made reaching it so rewarding. That feeling of triumph we talked about.
Off the beaten path. I like that. It implies adventure, discovery. It's not the usual tourist spot. So they're off the beaten path, taking in the view. What happens next?
So, let's recap our little adventure, a bit quicker this time to test your listening skills. Remember, it all started with the map, that old, tattered thing promising a hidden waterfall. It sparked our curiosity, right?
It certainly did. We were so excited, packing our bags, imagining the cascading water. Cascading means falling or flowing downwards, like a series of small waterfalls.
We started our hike full of energy, the trail winding through a dense forest. Dense means thick, closely packed together. Remember how green everything was?
Yes, the sunlight dappled through the leaves, creating such beautiful patterns. Dappled means spotted or speckled with light and shade. It was almost magical.
Then came the first obstacle, that fallen log blocking the path. We had to climb over it carefully, a bit of a scramble. Scramble implies climbing or moving quickly over rough ground.
It was a bit tricky, but we managed. And then the muddy patch. We almost lost our boots in that thick mud. Muddy means covered in mud, of course. It was quite slippery.
We persevered, though, didn't we? Persevered means continued trying, even when things got difficult. Then the path got steeper, leading us upwards, requiring more effort.
The climb was tough, but the view from the ridge was incredible. A ridge is a long, narrow raised part of a mountain or hill. We could see for miles.
And then, finally, the waterfall. Hidden away, just like the map promised. The water was crystal clear, tumbling into a cool pool. Tumbling describes something falling or rolling end over end.
It was breathtaking. Such a rewarding experience after our challenging journey. Rewarding means giving a sense of satisfaction or achievement.
We rested by the pool, enjoying the peace and quiet, feeling refreshed after overcoming the obstacles. Overcoming means successfully dealing with a problem or difficulty.
It really taught us that sometimes the best things in life are hidden, and getting to them might require some effort. But it's always worth it.
Absolutely. And that, my friends, is the story of our hike to the Hidden Waterfall. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.